and welcome to this week's live show with myself, Chris, and Dom. Chris, hello.
Hello, Steven. It's wonderful in Belgium, except the COVID things that aren't good at all.
And welcome, Dom.
Hello, Stephen. It's great to be back on the show. Glad to be home from the hospital there. I had another MS attack and I was diagnosed with COVID. So I'm in isolation till Friday at home. And I have to do another test just make sure I'm clear and I'm good to go.
It's good to have you back. Now, there are changes afoot. Marco's left. I don't think he'll be coming back quickly because he's concentrating on Amazon Live. Nick's got the plumber in.
Yeah.
Corinda's doing a live broadcast as we sit here. I don't know where Maria is, and I think Harper's taking a break as well. So
That's okay.
you know, it's difficult.
Yeah.
So we have to work more.
Yeah. I seen the conversation was going to be around speaking second languages.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all game for that, and I'm trying to learn languages myself. Learning 3 different languages.
Wow.
It's taken me some time, but trying to learn some Spanish and Portuguese and French. I know the gist of starting conversations in all 3 languages, but not enough to carry on it.
Yeah.
So that it would always be great to have a second language, even a third or a fourth. I've applied. Well, I sent an email to the local college here in Sarnia to apply to become a social worker. And that would really learning the languages would help me to translate to people who speak those languages.
Yeah.
So, and I still use that basoo that you told me about. There, Steven. Way back there a few years ago.
There's Maria.
Hi, hello everyone. Nice to see you again. I've missed you all. Hi, Domingos. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Maria.
Hello.
Yeah.
And for me, I live in a little country, Belgium, but we have 3 official languages. That are Netherlands or Dutch, my language, French, and German.
Yeah.
All right.
And so English is my 3rd language. And I don't speak it very good, but I am learning it as fast as I can to make some lives.
You're doing
a great job, Chris. You're doing a great job.
Improving all the time.
Yes.
Do you get taught Dutch and German at school?
Yes, we had Dutch, of course, our mother language, and then we had French, and English as 3rd language was not so many hours, and Dutch was only 1 hour a week, 1 year or 2 years. It were 2 years, the 2 years last years. But Dutch, that wasn't so good. We had a novice teacher for that, and that was a man that couldn't speak good German at all. German, eh? And so we have seen beautiful detectives in German. They were amazing. He has trained us to make the exams. We had good points, but then the year after that, we had a real teacher, a Germanist, a person that knows German very good, someone like Angelica, and that was for us a catastrophe. We couldn't do anything anymore because there was so much that we don't know. We were trained for all the exams, for all the things, and now we must do it ourselves. That was not a good thing to have.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome, Maria. Which languages do you speak? I'm guessing 2 or 3.
Yes, English, Italian, and Spanish. But I learned and Polish, some Polish, but that was when I was a child. I understand it. I understand Italian completely. I was very fluent in Italian when I lived in Italy, Stephen. And then I learned Spanish. I was fluent in Spanish when I lived in Spain. Excuse me. But I've forgotten it. But I can read it. And if I watch a movie, I understand everything they're saying. But,
Right.
you know, I think I would have to go back into the country, Stephen, and again hear it. And then I pick it up very quickly. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's a benefit to actually learning languages. I speak English quite well, French so-so, and German I'm learning. But the thing is that learning language makes you think, and it's for your mental health. It's very good
Yes.
because you're using parts of your brain, you're reinforcing your knowledge, and learning language keeps you healthy. I mean, I've got language lessons every fortnight with Angelica and 2 of our friends. So I've got 2 hours, well, 4 hours a month of German. French, a bit rusty, but like yourself, Maria, if I went back over to France, then I'd soon get back into it. So, yeah.
When I was in public school, I kicked myself. In grade 8, I was fluent in French, and as a teenager, when I got into high school, I seen that I only needed a basic French credit as a compulsory credit, and I took the easy way out. I took the course and never kept up with it, and all these years later, I'm kicking myself for it. So, I just want to get back to learning it, and I enjoy learning.
Excellent. And you know what's really funny, Stephen, and I do know French, okay? Again, I was in some intensive courses and I really knew how to speak it. And then of course, if again, it's the same thing if you don't use it. What's interesting is when my mother went to school to the teachers, and they said, well, no, I don't think Maria's going to be good in languages, you know, I don't think we're going to put her in the French class. And here I am, I went to other countries and I learned it, you know, like, you know, through Moses. And then studying it, of course, I studied Spanish and I studied French. I took courses in that while I was in Italy. But I mean, how silly people are. People don't know. People have, especially if you, I've heard my mother and my father speak. My father and my mother spoke 5 languages each, believe it or not. I came from a school where they spoke 5 languages each, and they were different languages. And my mother learned Polish, my father learned Italian, plus English, plus all the other languages they learned, you know. So I mean, I come from a family of polyglots, and just like Domingos, I wish I had paid a little bit more attention when I was in school. But in school, I paid attention to music because that's where I went into it. Went back to Europe and studied music. So you can only do so many things in your life, Stephen. Plus, earn a living.
True. Well, I've got practical reasons for learning German. I mean, Angelica and I never speak German. We speak English all the time. Angelica is more English than most English people. She's been here 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So she's been here longer than she was in Germany. So there you have it. So we speak English. The time we do speak German, Angelica speaks to her mum every week. And they're on the phone on Sunday. They've been doing that since Angelica came over to England. So she's in touch with her mum, and then with her mum and aunt, she spends an hour on a Monday afternoon, and that's totally in German. So Angelica keeps her first language up to date just by having conversations with her mum and aunt. My keeping them to date is the lessons, I think, and our upcoming trip to Germany in April.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
You know,
April. Wow.
Yeah, we couldn't go at Christmas because of COVID.
Oh, no?
Everything was cancelled. We had planned to spend Christmas 2 weeks in Schutthof, which is in northern Germany, close to the Dutch border. In fact, it's about an hour and a half from Amsterdam.
Uh-huh.
We had planned to be there over Christmas. I mean, Christmas is the best time to be in Germany because
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of
they've got
course.
real German markets, not our pretend ones that we have in the UK. And so we've rescheduled that because we're going for the first time ever. We're actually going to travel by Eurostar, which means
Yeah.
that we will be going from London through Belgium, through
Mm-hmm.
Holland, and then from Holland we'll get another train over to Germany. So looking
Yeah,
forward to that.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
lot
it will be
easier than
very good.
flying
Yeah.
because
Oh,
you've
I
got to
think.
get you've got to get to the airport, you've got to park the car,
Hmm. Hmm.
then you've
Yeah.
got to wait for the plane,
Yes.
and then you've got to fly, and then you've got reverse
Oh, yeah.
procedure at the other end. So going on Eurostar is going to be an adventure,
Good.
Mm-hmm.
which we're quite looking forward to. So that's Easter. But once we get there, I've got an intensive 2 week German course
Of course.
because
Yes.
all Angelica's relatives can speak English nearly as well as Angelica can, but they converse in German. So I've got two
Mm-hmm.
choices. I can either join in or not join in at all. And I decide to join in. And when I get it wrong, they just gently nudge me and say, ah,
Yeah.
you didn't get that quite right. Okay. And the other thing is that I enjoy one of the things we do of an evening with a bottle of wine is to sit down and to watch a crimi. And
They are good.
in every night we're actually watching a detective story in
Oh,
German. No
okay.
Yeah.
subtitles because I'm actually in Germany, so I don't get the
Yes,
subtitles I
yeah.
get when we watch in the UK. But it's good, it's fun, and because we're the learning's continuing, then
Yes.
each time we go, I understand a little bit more.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. I agree. Through
Mm-hmm.
osmosis, right? And when I was in Italy, I used to go to the movies, and it was all in Italian. I don't
Of
think they
course.
had subtitles, of course not. But I learned that way, just by learning, and then I forced myself to read. Then I had an Italian dictionary beside me, or an English, an Italian, and I would
You
read, and then that's how you learn. That's how I
look
learned.
here.
Yeah, and I spoke every day, and I had to speak it every day living in the country, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. And, and
I would love to learn another language or go back and, revisit Italian or French or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would have to take the time for that. And I don't know if I have the time or the energy anymore. That's it. It takes a lot of energy. All of this takes a lot
Oh,
of
it does.
energy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not
Yeah.
just learning language, are you? It enables you to understand the culture of a country.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
French culture,
Yes.
Belgian culture, German
Yeah.
Yeah.
culture,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
even American culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I can only say that because none of us are American.
That's right. Yeah.
Harper won't get offended.
No. Is Harper coming today, or is he busy?
We've not heard a word. He's been in the group and he can see the messages and he's read the messages, but he's not said anything since Marco left, really.
Oh, maybe he's not feeling. Maybe he's not feeling well. Maybe he's not feeling well.
I don't know.
Oh.
I think when Chris and I have spoken about this, there is a practical problem for not only for Marco, but for a lot of us. I mean, we here can all understand each other and there's no problem at all. But when we've had previous shows, we can't all understand each other, and that's a problem. And I can understand. I mean, I spoke to Angelica. Chris and I spoke, and then I spoke to Angelica and said no, she couldn't understand either. And that's a real problem when you can't understand what somebody's saying. It's not a question of language, it's just a question of being able to interpret, because you're actually interpreting, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you're interpreting, like when I was speaking in Italian, or I was listening to Italians, and I'm translating it in my head, Stephen.
Yeah.
And you translate certain words a certain way, and and we have different meanings. Like Canadians say things differently than Americans, and the British, and we take things differently than the British or the American. Someone says to me something, I'll take it completely different in English, in the Canadian English, than I would the American or even the Italian or even the Indian from India. We all interpret it in a way, and I think that's where a lot of conflict comes from. And even like I was watching a program about Japanese. I mean, you have to hold your business card with two hands and give it to them, you know.
Yeah.
Money, the same thing. Money, the same thing. Well, we don't know that unless I watch programs or someone tells me. And they would take offense if I did it any other way, you know. So very, this is very interesting. And I love learning about people from all over the world. I mean, I've always wanted to do that, because of my family, right? I was among immigrants on my whole life growing up. And for me, an accent is a normal thing. I don't even notice an accent, Yeah. So, and my husband was Romanian, from Romania. I mean, so there's another, and he wanted me to learn Romanian. I said, and you know what it was, even, it's a lot of Latin words. It's not like they say it's a Roman language, like it's a Roman language, but it's not. It's a completely different language. When I hear it, it's rougher, and I couldn't understand it.
But
I can't understand it either, Romanian.
Right. If you think about it, French, German, Spanish, Italian, all come from Latin.
Yes.
Their roots are in Latin.
Yes.
The conjugation, je suis, tu es, il est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. That's all. Don't be so shocked. That's all. That's all from Latin. Yeah. Some est. I've lost it now, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
I mean,
But Romanian is from Latin. It's the oldest language, because when the Romans went there, they kind of were left on their own. They became very isolated, the Romanians, and people really don't know much about them. But if you look at them, they're stocky, they're strong built, but they're tall, dark eyes, dark hair. But then they have, if they go into Moldavia, like if they touch borders with Transylvania, it's one thing. If with Russia, they're all kind of different looking, right? Just like the Italians are too, depending on the borders. Just like, in any country, the colors change, the hair color, the eye colors, and all of that. But Roman languages for sure.
Yeah. That's where it all began. Okay. Now, regional accents. Don, what about regional accents? Do you have variations throughout the?
Canada, and Maria can attest. Canada is the second language mostly spoken is French.
Yeah.
But I've been like learning Spanish and Portuguese and finding that because French, Spanish, and Portuguese are very similar in dialect. And Portuguese people can understand people who speak Spanish. It's just it's a little faster spoken, and they have to take the time to comprehend. And we have a merchandise staff member here. She's originally from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and she's gonna help me learn some Portuguese. But it'll be the Brazilian Portuguese, not Portugal.
Yeah,
two different dialects.
Absolutely. Same thing with Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Brazilian. The same thing with Spanish and Mexican Spanish, right? I mean, it's completely they say the word differently. But in Canada, Domingos, I think you'll agree, you can hear the accents from people who come from Labrador. And you can hear this a completely different accent. They express themselves differently. And Nova Scotia, like those are the maritime provinces. Yeah, absolutely. They have different vernacular words. They express themselves differently. And Quebec is different. Quebec is different also. You can hear the accent. And then you go out west. I'm a Westerner from Manitoba, Winnipeg. And so we spoke differently there. And then you go to BC. BC, I don't know how different it is myself. My sister lives there, but she's always had the same accent since I was, since we grew up. So, but I do know, yes, you can hear it. I know I can hear people that come from the East Coast. I can hear it. I can hear how they speak. How they speak very quickly. Sometimes I can't even make out what they're saying. So yeah, within the same country. So yeah, and I'm sure, Chris, with you and with you, Stephen, I'm sure in the United Kingdom, it's completely, it's different.
Yeah, find with Quebec and New Brunswick, yeah, they're both French, but again, two different dialects.
Yes.
Yep.
So you can really differentiate who's from Quebec and who's from New Brunswick.
And who's from France? And who's from France? You can tell.
Yeah, France. So, yeah.
Yeah. And in Flanders, we speak totally different as in the Netherlands. The vowels and so are different. Some words are also different.
Yeah.
And then in Flanders itself, they have regional dialects. So I can't understand people from Ostend when they speak their original dialect. I really can't understand that. And they can't understand me. And that gives sometimes things to laugh with. When you are in a discussion with each other, you speak Dutch, but you really can't understand it, or you must say it in the official language, the polished one.
And want to say hello to Dr. Hilo, otherwise known as Ephraim, who was broadcasting on Be Live last night. Hello. Thanks for joining us. We're discussing the importance of being able to speak or understand more than one language. So if you want to add your views, then please do.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even with people that come from different islands, the Caribbean islands, I can recognize certain accents already. And when people call me, like, because I do rental properties, Stephen and Chris and Domingos, I get hundreds of people calling me all the time, with different languages. And when I hear something I don't really recognize, I'll ask them. I'll say, okay, I know you have an accent. It sounds like this, but it's not purely this from this country. What is it? And they tell me what it is. And I was right on. Like, it was not the pure accent from that country. It was a combination of two accents, which is even more, So I love meeting different people from different countries. I really enjoy that. I really enjoyed that.
Right.
Yeah, and then in Limburg in Flanders, they speak very slow. That's also a special thing.
Right. Ephraim is saying Spanish is my first language. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
He feels our pain.
Yeah.
Come and shovel. Shovel, Dr. Ello. Come and shovel my soul. 10 feet. 10 feet, 20 feet.
Little comment for Dr. Elio. ¿Cómo está, mi amigo? Just said hello, my friend. So it's always it's always interesting to try and learn, keep your mind active.
Yes,
that's what I've been doing throughout this pandemic is trying to keep my brain going and keep me active so I don't fall into a state of depression.
Yeah,
and I do what I can to keep myself up. So.
I think we've all done that. I think we've all had to do that. That's a smart way of doing it, Domingos, right? I mean, that's when I started producing and using Be Live. My God, thank God for Be Live, Stephen. That was a godsend. Every day I was producing a show, and I was sharing that show with people in my industry, which is real estate. And I
Yeah.
felt better about it. And the people who were able to talk about what they were specialized in were helping other people, and they still are. It's
Yeah.
on YouTube,
course.
those videos. So, I mean, and I just did a video on Friday on Be Live again. I mean, I love Be Live, you know. So, oh, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, I've gotten better with using Be Live. Although there's glitches all the time. Stephen, there's always glitches. My glitches, their glitches, everybody's glitches, right? That's just the nature of the beast. It's mostly my glitches because, again, I'm not very savvy with all of this. But Stephen helps me along. I you know, send messages every once in a while. Help.
We all help each other in different ways, and that's what makes live
Yeah.
video work, because we will all support each other when we need help.
Sure.
I mean, live video is a totally different language. I mean, we are
Yes.
in the minority. The majority of people just don't broadcast. The closest they come is Zoom calls,
Yes.
and that's a totally different environment from actually being live.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. And to think about it, I didn't even know how to work Zoom a couple years ago. And now I zoom around in Zoom. But and you know what I've noticed though? I don't know if you use Zoom a lot or not, Chris and Domingos, is before they'd only give you 3/4 of an hour. Now they give you an hour, no problem. Have you noticed that change? Stephen, have you noticed that change? Have you noticed that change?
Yes, we could 3/4, and then you had to pay. But now you can do it an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great.
Of course.
I do shows sometimes, like a live conference with the MS Society of Canada, and we do it through Zoom, and usually lasts about an hour, 10 minutes. And we have like 16, 17 people on the call.
I love that.
But I'm not a Zoom fan though.
No,
it is what it is, right? It's just another needs. Just another needs.
Yes. When you have many people, it's a good thing. But for 4, Be Live is much better. The quality is higher.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The thing that sort of gets to me is on Zoom, you can have a meeting with 20 people on, and that meeting is going to last for an hour. Okay. And it's got everything's, let's assume that everything works. It means that you get to talk for 3 minutes and sit there for 57. Now, whereas on live video, we're all talking equally. On the Zoom meeting, you sit there and you're sort of trying to concentrate, but after the 10th person has spoken, your concentration drops off. And by the time you get to the end of the meeting, you're almost asleep. It's a different environment, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I had one meeting, Stephen, that people were so interested in. We had 100 people. And they could maybe ask some questions, but it was like a webinar. But the topic was but all the landlords were interested in the topic. So they stayed for 1 hour listening to that, you know. So I think it depends on the topic.
Yes.
There we have it. I obviously go to the boring Zoom calls, not the interesting ones.
Well, I think my Zoom call is very boring because it's all about real estate and landlords. And if you're not into it, it's very boring.
In Belgium, we use something to make it more fun, and that are the breakout rooms in Zoom.
Okay.
So you can discuss with some people in a breakout room and then go back to the general assembly. And we have also the Mentimeter. There's an app where you can vote, and then people can show these are the results of the vote. And that makes it sometimes more interesting. And so you have to look, or you don't know that you have to put in the Mentimeter. Fill in.
Excellent.
Over to Ephraim, who's saying, I have ADHD. Imagine how natural I am. I see a squirrel and get distracted. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Thank you. Yes, it's staying focused in a Zoom meeting. I do find difficult. I mean, we have meetings for the political party and
Mhm.
they are not the most interesting of things. I mean, not that interesting in real life, but when you actually sat in a Zoom meeting and they're talking for endlessly about policy that they'll never get a chance to implement because they are a minority party.
God bless them. God bless them. They're
Yeah.
still trying,
Oh
right?
yeah,
God
Yeah.
bless them. They have a
yeah.
voice. They have a voice, right?
Oh, truly, truly. I mean, that Zoom has given, well,
Yes.
literally billions of people a voice.
A voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the gift we've received. And like the internet, the same thing with the internet is that we all can run our business, excuse me, and not have to
Mhm.
spend a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I lived in Italy, that was 1972 to 1982. I used to call my mother maybe once a week or once a month, and I would have to go to a telephone booth and
Mhm.
Yeah.
put the money in while I'm
Yes.
talking.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I
Yeah.
can call my sister-in-law. They're in Italy. They have and you'd be interested in this, Chris. They have a beautiful art studio. They're artists in their art studio. He's a sculptor and she's a painter,
Mhm.
and they have a studio for the last 10 years in Florence, Italy. And I call them on Facebook. Doesn't cost a
Yes,
dime.
of course you
Doesn't
can
cost a
do
dime,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've
Uh,
made progress that way.
I
so,
know. Yes.
so many different streaming platforms today. It's just choosing the right one that suits your needs.
Yes, exactly. At different
Mhm.
times. At different times, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yes,
And
when I was, yeah,
go ahead. No, go
when
ahead,
I,
Chris.
okay, when I was little, my mother had a friend in Canada. I think it was in Kingston.
Hmm. Okay.
And each New Year's Day, they were calling to each other. But there was a great delay on the phone. So
Yes,
that was an
Right.
attraction just to make a call with Canada.
for
Yeah. I mean,
sure.
that's it. We take it for granted now that this
Yeah.
We
communication
do.
is instant. I mean, we're
We do.
connecting Belgium with the UK and Canada, and it's just
Yeah.
working flawlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who'd have dreamt 10 years ago that we'd be able to do this?
No, not
No.
at all.
No.
Not at
No,
all.
no.
No. This is
Technology
And
keeps
also
improving
that
all the
it's
time.
not so costly. When you have money, all the money of the world, then you can do that. And you have a TV station like the great
Mhm.
TV stations, but we are normal people and we can do it.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
self-produce our own shows, and
Yeah.
nobody can say anything about it. We produce it the way we want.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then then we have the streaming platforms, excuse me, like YouTube that reaches the whole world. You just have to know how to manipulate it, which I haven't
Yeah,
learned yet. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube is totally different from Facebook. It's
oh, yeah.
Yes.
difficult
Yes.
difficult to actually build a community.
It is. Yes.
I mean, if I go out with my mobile phone and I shoot
Yeah.
a video,
Hmm.
and I go to Stonehenge or I go to Avebury, then that video will get seen.
Hmm.
If we go live on YouTube now,
Hmm.
nobody's watching us. They're
That's
watching
right.
us on Facebook, but
Yes.
nobody watches you on YouTube because
Hmm.
we haven't got to the stage yet where a live chat show, as it were, actually succeeds on YouTube. They don't
Hmm.
expect to see us there.
Oh,
Mhm.
And
I see.
that's
Okay.
irrespective of topic. So I don't know. It's always a challenge on YouTube, I find.
Me
Yeah.
too. I
Mhm.
find the same thing, Stephen. But I produce it and it goes there and it's there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I've got videos and stuff on my YouTube channel, but still haven't figured out how to get it so people can leave comments on the videos. They can
Oh,
see
you
them.
know what? Yeah, that's another thing that Stephen can teach us. But I finally figured it out. After 2 years, I finally got some comments, Stephen, on YouTube. Is
Brilliant.
anybody out there? But then when I try and respond, it doesn't take it. But if I go to where the video is and I
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
down at the comments, that's when I can respond. So yeah, just like you, Dominguez, I had a real hard time trying to understand it, how it works.
Right.
But
Mm.
there's so much to
We
learn. There's so
we
much to
have a
learn.
question from a viewer.
Okay.
Question is from Efrahin, and it says, Maria, do you find your real estate advice reaches across different cultures with all the diversification of rules in many countries?
That's a really good question, Dr. Elio, and I'm going to tell you something. When it comes to the rules of the country, like the Landlord and Tenant Board or the Residential Tenancies Act, they're very similar in most countries. But what I teach really is that you use a paralegal or a lawyer, depending on what you can use in your country, to help you through problem times. But my basis is find the right person to begin with, and that's a universal thing. Okay, so you just don't rent to anybody. You rent to a person that fits your avatar of who your ideal tenant will be. That is universal in any country, in any language. So yes, it does. In fact, I have a radio show that goes on for radio shows a day that go out in a 24-hour internet radio station that reaches. I have people listening from Russia, from China, from Italy, from France, from Greece, from all over. So they're listening just to know about real estate. But the rules may change. But the rule of how you find the right person, which is my landlord boot camp, is always the same, no matter what country you're in. Good question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm definitely, Efrahin, I'm definitely going to watch your Be Live broadcast now. There's no way I can't because you're joining in today and asking questions, and
That's good, yeah.
comment coming in again.
Yes.
Amazing answer. I come from a real estate family in Puerto Rico. He's licensed himself, but never used it.
Well,
Wow.
I'm not licensed. I'm an investor. So I'm a landlord and investor. I purchase my own properties and I manage my own properties, and I've been doing that for 22 years. So I'm not a real estate agent. So it's a completely different thing. But I have a question for Dr. Ello, if you don't mind, Stephen. Is what are the prices like in Puerto Rico for real estate now?
There's a question.
I have to have him on my show to talk about that because I'm looking for speakers from all over the world. So, Dr. Ello, you and I have a date, okay? I'm going to have you on my show.
Wow.
But can you answer that in the meantime, please?
Yeah, brilliant. Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
He's probably typing it in.
Yeah.
He is. He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and let's show. Would you like to read it, Maria?
Yes, of course. Dr. Ello says, I am a landlord. Well, welcome, Mr. Landlord. Great. I have to have you on my show even more so. I have properties in Puerto Rico. I'm saying Puerto Rico. Prices are steady as the homes are pure cement. Well, you have to with those trade winds and all those winds coming through and hurricanes. No, I don't mean prices. I mean, are they going up like in Canada? They're being inflated by 25 to 50% a year, which is crazy. Is that what's happening in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, it's the same in the UK. I mean, our economy is just ticking over, but house prices are going up. There's a boom. Yeah.
Houses there.
Same in Belgium.
People in here in China are getting like $75,000-$80,000 above their asking price for their house, and it's unfortunate because China is a very debilitated and aging community, and now they're trying to get Toronto prices, which you can attest to. Maria is very expensive.
Crazy. They're crazy. Yeah. There's no logic to it. There's no logic to it. And you know what? This is what happened before the Weimar Republic, right? Weimar Republic, I'm not saying it properly, where all the prices went up for everything, and then there was a boom, right? It just bust, right? And I see that happening. Oh, inflation is definitely affecting buyers and favoring owners in Puerto Rico, not as notable like in America. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was going to put an offer in actually, and I called my real estate agent. This is for Dr. Ellie and for everyone here to know, the New Domingos. And so I said to him, okay, tell the guy this is what I want to pay, which was $1 million, okay, which is crazy when you think about it. So do you know what the guy said? He came back, and I did that on purpose to poke fun at him, because this house had been on the market for about 100 days. Nobody had put an offer, because a house doesn't stay on the market for 100 days unless it's overpriced, right? So
Yeah.
I said, okay, just see if he'll take my offer. And he says, no, we have multiple offers at $1.5 million. And I said, are they crazy? It was listed at $1,400,000. Now he says he can put it up and he's got offers galore. Like, where's the logic of it? Like, come on, you know? Like,
Exactly.
ridiculous.
Right.
You know, the house isn't worth that much money. But let's play the game, right? Let's play the game, right?
Lately, it seems like everything is really jacked with inflation. Like groceries, gas, you name it. It just one of the staff was telling me yesterday when they went to go fill their car up, they were paying $1.49.9, and it cost them almost $80 to fill their car.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, what I do is I go to Costco. Tell them to go to Costco if they have. There's always 10 cents or more or less there. Right? That's where I go and fill my car up, is at Costco.
Yeah. I mean, keeping on that line, we are being taken for fools. 2 years ago, one of our newspapers went to the supermarket and bought a trolley of goods, the things that people buy just to keep them going. Okay.
Yeah.
Last week they did the same again. Same items, everything was the same. It was 20% dearer. 20% in 2 years. That's what we're facing. Yeah. I mean, the thing was that you used to be able to go in a supermarket. You used to be able to see buy one get one free, special offer. That's all gone. There are no special offers anywhere in our supermarket now.
Oh.
Wow.
We still have special offers, but it's difficult for me. I am alone. And for fresh goods, I can't buy 2 things, or I must take one for the deep freezer. Or give it away.
Right, okay. Got it, Dom, you're okay.
And Dr. Ello, I'll just respond if you don't mind, Stephen. 1.5 million sounds like a bluff to make you pay more, of course, and I could see through it. The person was barking up the wrong tree. You are experienced. Of course, 100 days on the market. It was 1.4 million. Now he says he's got multiple offers. Of course, I know the game, right? I'm not going to fall for it. Some other sucker just take it right over. Who cares? You know, there's another good deal around the corner. Dr. Ello always is another deal around the corner.
Yeah. It's
True.
So, are you home now?
Yes.
You're home now?
Oh, man, myself?
Yeah, you're home now?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm back home now. Yeah. I had another MS attack, and I was also diagnosed with COVID. So
How do you feel?
I feel fine. I'm triple vaccinated. I had very minimal symptoms, which is a blessing because I have MS, and COVID will affect a lot of people that have neurological disorders such as MS, and it can be very detrimental and can be fatal.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
but I'm the fortunate one, and I always fight to come back as always.
Good for you.
So
Yes.
I don't quit. So, but
Good to hear that, Domingos. Good to
Yes,
hear
and
that.
we won't miss you. We like you here so much.
Yeah. We miss
And especially from home.
Yes, of course. Yes, especially from home. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel so much better to be back home, and sleeping in my own bed. That hospital bed was so uncomfortable.
Of course.
I ended up getting back pains in my lower back, and air mattresses have one setting, and you can't.
Uncomfortable.
my air mattress here at home has 3 settings. I can set it for soft, medium, or firm. So I keep it around medium, and that's comfortable, and I get a good night's sleep.
Mhm.
So, and that's pretty much essential in anybody's life. It's getting a relatively good night's sleep,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
just to recharge your batteries.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's true. True.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
I'm going to make an offer. Hopefully, you all agree. Efrain,
Okay.
you've sort of fired us up during this live broadcast. If you are
Yes.
free at the same time next week, do join us. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you and I,
Sure.
we know of each other, but we've never actually got a chance. Well, I've been on your show, but we've never got a chance to talk together. And you can talk real estate with Maria.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
so
course.
Awesome.
if you want to join us next week, please do. That would be good.
So what
Okay.
is Dr. Ello's show about, Stephen? Can you tell us what Dr. Ello's show is about?
Yeah, Dr. Ello works for Be Live.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
So he's a
And he
trainer like
does
you are.
he does the official Be Live weekly show
Okay.
in the Be Live group and on the Be Live page on Facebook.
Okay.
And
Great.
he was live yesterday.
Yes,
Is
it's
it-
a
is it-
great show. I have seen him
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you are. See, Chris has seen him. So, and I broadcast with him. So
Mhm.
yeah.
For sure. And you're another trainer, aren't you, Stephen? You're one of the trainers also?
Yeah, I'm an admin of the group, and I go live at the moment in the live video sales group. All right, okay, and Ephraim is saying what he does, and he helps you get more comfortable at live streaming. There you are.
Of course,
Yeah,
yes.
there you
Brilliant.
go.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Um,
I've got to chime in. I have to step out, guys. So
Okay.
I'll join you all
Okay.
next week. And
Yep.
everybody have a great day, and I'll see you next week.
You
Okay.
too, Domingo.
Okay, thank you. See you next
Take care,
week.
Dom. Good to see you.
Bye, Dom.
Bye.
Bye
Thanks.
bye now.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Right. Okay, so it's good to see Dom back, and
Yes, of course.
that he could join us. But my offer, Ephraim, is it's real. We're all agreed. We'd all like to meet you live on air.
Yes, of course.
Same time next week. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Because we start off with 10 people, and we get people coming in and out and what have you. So you're more than welcome to join us. In fact, you know most of the people involved.
Yeah. Anytime. That's great.
Yes,
There you go.
anytime. Super.
Right. Okay. I'll send you the link. Brilliant. Okay. That's a
Fantastic.
job
Fantastic.
done.
Yeah.
right. Okay. I've been testing some software this week.
Okay.
And
Tell us about it.
have you heard of Wave Video?
No.
No. No.
Before InVideo came out, there's a
Okay.
company called Wave Video, which Maurice Smith used to speak about quite a lot.
Okay.
And it's Wave Video, and it's like InVideo. You make
Okay.
short business videos using stock videos, stock images, and they've decided. I think the camera's gone. Oh, we're back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right. Okay. They've decided that they're going to have their own studio.
Okay.
So they've got a live studio, and it's being beta tested at the moment.
Okay.
And I'm beta testing it.
Good.
It's not ready yet, but it's got great potential because Wave are a large company with a large user base. So there's that to look out for. There's one that Marco was talking to yesterday, which I think is called EZMux. EZMUX or EVMux. I don't know where the name comes from, and neither do the owners. And then the third thing, which concerns the three of us, is that we're getting close to OneStream having their own studio.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Good.
we'll be able to broadcast direct from OneStream.
Excellent. Excellent.
So lots of options available, and still an exciting time. There's always something new every single day.
I know.
Of course.
I can't keep up.
Really?
I can't keep up. I'll catch up sooner or later.
We'll never catch up. There's always something going on, something new, something to keep us to keep us happy, I suppose, and to actually have
Yes.
new toys to play with. Yeah,
For sure,
new
that's a
ways
good
of
way of
doing
looking
things.
at it. Yeah, toys
Yeah,
to play with, for sure.
I mean,
Yes.
in the last 3 weeks, I've got a new camera and a new microphone, so it's always something. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. What kind of camera did you get, Stephen?
I'm glad you
A
asked that. Just a
tracking
moment.
camera who is following him.
I'm glad you asked that. Let's just see if we can actually do this.
Well, I'm very curious, Brian. I mean, you can't say anything without me saying, show us, tell us. I'm always
I'm
curious.
trying. I know I
Yes.
wasn't teasing you.
I know.
Okay, I'm going to try and come back. And this is my new camera. Just a minute. That's not the shot I want. Just a second. Ah! That's unfortunate.
Don't lose the mouse.
My apologies for that. Just a minute. Okay. That's not the shot. Right, I'll be back in a second. Okay. That's when things go wrong. I do apologize. Right, so I'm back now. I'm going to try. Sorry.
Okay.
That was live. I'm going to keep making mistakes
Yes.
live. Just a second. Okay, just let me do this. Okay.
Sure.
We're going to try again.
Yeah.
Okay, and this time it will it will work. Okay. My second camera, he said proudly, is this one. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just press a button. And hopefully, yeah, my new camera is this one. And I'm just going to close that. Okay, so this is it. This is my new camera pointing at the right angle. And the thing is, if you think about the Logitech C920 and the Brio, they're on top of a monitor on top of your computer,
Yes.
and they're static. You've
Yes,
got a
mine
field
is.
of view. Yeah.
Mhm.
With this camera, I can do this, and it's, to me, I'm still playing with it. It's still magical. I can do this,
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Wow.
right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I can focus on the desktop, so
Yeah.
that when I'm doing a demonstration on Amazon, I can actually talk about the objects. I can pick the objects up
Yeah.
and talk about them, and people can see. Then when I finish talking, I can switch back. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody.
Yeah.
I can,
Okay.
I can
We'll
actually
wait.
I can actually switch back to here.
Yes, he does
Yeah.
it.
Yay.
Okay,
Good
and
work.
then I can go over here. That's
Okay.
Avery Stone Circle,
Yeah.
and then come back to me. But the magic is, and hopefully this will work, is that I can.
Yes, that's the magic one.
That's
Oh, that one.
just a
Is
minute,
this the
just a minute,
same
just a minute,
camera?
just a minute. Nearly there. I'm just practicing.
It's okay.
Okay. I can actually, he said, I can actually.
He doesn't
Just a
follow
minute.
you now.
Nope,
Not this
just a
time,
minute,
not
just a
yet.
minute. It's no fun if it works every time. Okay. Just let me sit down again. We'll try again.
Well, you showed
Okay,
us
so
last
try
week.
down. Okay, and that's better. If I get up,
Yes.
then
Yes.
Yes. Now
No,
I
it
think he does it. Yes,
no,
it's
it
working.
works. No,
Yay.
the camera actually follows me, and
Mhm.
it means that I can do presentations stood up, and I can speak. So, because you know when you're listening to a speaker at a real world event, they don't sit down to speak to you; they actually stand up. So
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
a lot better. Okay, so that was it. That was the that's the new camera.
Excellent.
Yes,
And,
and that's
just
good
need-
that he's following you.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm back.
There you go.
Yes.
See? Yeah. Excellent.
And the other thing that it does is it makes sure you've got headroom. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Mhm.
if I move, yeah, it's got all sorts
Yeah.
of whizzy features. So it's enough to keep me amused. And I was demonstrating it on Amazon Live this afternoon, and I got some great comments about it. So
Okay. Great.
we shall see.
Great. Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
Right. Okay. Are we good? Shall we take our leave now? Come back
Yes,
next week.
yes,
Hopefully to be joined
absolutely.
by Ephraim.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
See,
Okay.
I'll get in touch with Harper and see if Harper's coming
Yeah.
back. I'll twist Nick's arm and get Nick back.
Well, he's plumber.
Then you
this
must
morning,
learn to be a plumber.
Chris, what's really funny is this morning he says, "Oh, my plumber came earlier," and that was 4 o'clock my time. I said, "Well,
Yes.
you know what I said? It's a little bit too early for my plumber to come to my home, which was what I had to do last week. That's why I missed the show." And, so we had a good laugh with that, right? There's the time.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Brilliant.
But yes, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Have a great
We'll
week.
talk next week. Yeah. Thank
See you,
you.
see you
Bye.
both soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
And thank you, Dr.
Bye.